क्योंकि आपको तो लगता है यू करूंगी लड़के आ जाएंगे,
बट अच्छे लड़के नहीं आते हैं, मतलब कोई भी आ जाएगा, बट कोई तो नहीं चाहिए ना।
आप बहुत ज्यादा इमेच्योर हो मेरे हिसाब से। सॉरी चंद्रा, देखो अच्छा प्यार और अच्छी कंपेरेंशिप बड़ी किस्मत वालों को मिलता है। तो आपको अगर मिल रहा है तो आप उसकी इज्जत कर लो, और अगर नहीं मिल रहा तो उसे ढूंढ लो।
Someone asks me कि भाई मिलने आ जाओ, I'm like I gotta check my calendar because I have to go to the gym, I have to go to my extracurricular activities.
That relationship, Chandra, should enable your growth and self-development. अगर आपके कॉन्वर्सेशन में ये आ गया ना और बताओ, तो वो खत्म हो गया। समझ रहे हो? मैच मेकिंग इज मैथमेटिक्स। आप 3 फैक्टर ले लो, आई कॉल इट PEF।
मुझे चिकन खाना है, right? So
तो फिर जैन लड़के के साथ आपका नहीं चलेगा।
Doubt it. I don't want to marry a smoker or someone who drinks. Am I being too picky?
No.
What's your stance on tattoos?
Well, what's my stance on tattoos? I don't have a stance on tattoos. I don't have a tattoo.
Do you like girls with tattoos?
मैंने कभी ऐसे सोचा नहीं, do I like girls with tattoos or not tattoos? I'm not a hippie.
No. So
Nothing wrong with hippie, but I'm not hippie.
No, let's not go crazy now.
ये तो लड़की डाउरी मांग रही है।
Fundraising चल रही है।
मुझे हस्बैंड भी चाहिए, इन्वेस्टर भी चाहिए। आ जाओ जी, मेरा CCPS राउंड खुला हुआ है।
Welcome to another episode of Gupshup with Poshak. Thank you so much for being here, Poshak.
Hi, Chandra.
Super excited to get real, raw, and unfiltered with you today.
As always.
As always. So lately, something I've been struggling with in my dating life is that guys want like a modern woman, really educated and out there, and yet they still want someone who holds those quote-unquote traditional values. Is it realistic or even fair for guys to ask for both of these in the same person?
क्या मॉडर्न लोगों के संस्कार ही नहीं होते?
मॉडर्न लोगों के संस्कार होते होंगे।
आप बताओ, what are your top 3 संस्कार?
So I feel like sanskars,
growth mindset.
Yes. Second one is like discipline, hard work, mehnat. Then I would probably put relationships at number 3, like relationship with others, with family, with partners.
Is family important to you?
Yeah.
But ambition and self-improvement
takes precedence. Like if I had to choose, like that's the one I'm choosing.
Do you think you have to choose?
Yeah, definitely. Like I had to leave my home if I wanted to obtain the things that I wanted.
Okay.
I think that's just an interesting dichotomy.
See, if a relationship and family come third in your order of priority, then how can you fault the guys for not wanting to just simply go ahead with you? See, there are 2 ways of thinking about it, Chandra. One is that you say that, okay, both things are important to me, like the betterment of the self, the ambition. I want to go out there and do something in this world, right? So and family is important to me, so it's the power of the and not the or. You're seeing both of these as a dichotomy. So be it, right? So you're saying that family is not as important to you, and so you shouldn't feel bad if guys want to date you, but don't want to marry you because it's clear in your head that it's not important to you.
Okay.
At least it's not important to you at this stage.
So would you advise me to not seek a relationship at all at this stage?
You should seek what's important to you. If ambition and growth are important to you today, then that's what you should be seeking.
But मुझे एक बात बताओ, बाद में लेट नहीं हो जाता है? मतलब फिर if I don't do these 2 things in parallel, तो बाद में लेट हो जाता है ना शादी के लिए?
बाद में
क्योंकि लड़के खत्म हो जाते हैं।
नहीं, लड़के खत्म हो जाते हैं, लेकिन फिर नया भी तैयार हो रहे हैं ना आजकल सेकंड इनिंग्स के लिए। मतलब see, if you want to have kids, then like just biologically you've got to figure out what makes sense for you, right? So
raise my eggs.
Yeah, that's up to you, right? Like that's not my call, right? But would you rather you kind of get into a relationship and you really don't value it?
Or there's probably guys out there for whom ambition and stuff is also important in their life.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the right person that I hang out with.
Yeah.
Because like if relationship is number 3 for me and relationship is number 3 for them, kind of works out, right?
Yeah, so that's the other way to think about it, and I think a healthier way to think about it is to think about the power of and. Is to say that like, listen, you've got to like balance like multiple aspects of your life, right? Instead of thinking about A or B, I would encourage you to think about is there a way you can balance maybe more facets of your life with your ambition? if work is important to you, so should
Yeah.
be your health, and for you, it should be relationships. Like, you know,
Yeah, like you can always.
आप ना उसकी वैल्यू नहीं करती अभी, पता है क्यों? क्योंकि आप पे ऑप्शन बहुत सारे हैं।
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है आप उसे फॉर ग्रांटेड ले रहे हो, क्योंकि आपको तो लगता है यू करूंगी लड़के आ जाएंगे।
बट अच्छे लड़के नहीं आते हैं, मतलब कोई भी आ जाएगा, बट कोई तो नहीं चाहिए ना, मतलब।
हाँ, तो फिर आप सही से ढूंढो ना, जो बंदा जो आपके वैल्यू सिस्टम से अलाइंड हो ना।
हाँ, मतलब speaking of values, like one more value of mine that I hold very dear is like independence. Like the ability to make decisions for myself, and maybe I'm spoiled in that way that I've been raised in a certain way where I've been given so much independence.
आप बहुत ज्यादा immature हो मेरे हिसाब से, सॉरी चंद्रा। हाँ, दो लोग जब साथ आते हैं, so you are going to lose a bit of independence because you're deciding to kind of live life together.
Right.
But you do that because for a greater good or benefit, that, you know, it gives you a sense of full companionship. So, you know, giving a little bit of independence for a higher good, you know, is not always a bad thing, right?
Don't you ever feel scared
Scared about what?
about losing your independence?
Of course, I would do that. I would fear that also. But the question is, like, would I love this person enough to lose a little bit of independence? Of course. But, you know, walking this short life together will just become more meaningful.
Yeah. Both
देखो,
of our
अच्छा प्यार और अच्छी कंपेनियनशिप बड़ी किस्मत वालों को मिलता है। तो आपको अगर मिल रहा है तो आप उसकी इज्जत कर लो, और अगर नहीं मिल रहा तो उसे ढूंढ लो। लेकिन आप ये जो आप बात कह रहे हो ना कि इट हैज टू बी दिस और दिस, मुझे बहुत इमेच्योर लगती है। अब तो आपका 30 भी टच होने वाला है कुछ टाइम में, थोड़ा तो अब यू नीड टू गेन मैच्योरिटी है सर।
Like, I think both of us are in a situation where when you stay by yourself long enough, or you live your own life for long enough,
you'll become more inflexible also ना।
inflexible हो जाते हो, और मुझे लग रहा है कि ये हुआ है मेरे साथ। क्योंकि मैं अपनी लाइफ को एकदम टिच स्केड्यूल पे जीती हूँ, और मेरा कहीं से भी हिल जाता है ना कि someone asks me कि भाई मिलने आ जाओ, I'm like I gotta check my calendar because I have to go to the gym, I have to go to my extracurricular activities.
I would say don't resent कि like, you know, I don't have a relationship right now, or I'm not getting good guys, because you're not prioritizing it yourself.
I'm making choices.
These are active choices you're making, and I'm not saying that this is a good choice or a bad choice. This is your choice. Own it up.
And I think I need to accept it. Like, I think the worst thing you can do is sail in two boats. Like, also want a relationship, but also want to live my life the way on my terms. कुछ moments होते हैं जब आपका loneliness hit होता है. You know, like there's.
वो कब होता है आपका?
शाम के 7:30 बजे ऑफिस खत्म हुआ, लैपटॉप टक करके बंद हुआ, और मैं घर के लिए निकल रही हूँ, तब मुझे फील होता है, बिकॉज आई एम लाइक आई हैव 6 hours ahead of me. ठीक है, sometimes I have something to do, sometimes I don't, but that's the moment where I'm like, I don't have anyone to go home to, and you know, that's just one example.
So I'm glad you know you're talking about this so honestly, Chandra. मुझे ना काफी टाइम से लगता है कि you know, you're running away from something. आप avoidant हो. Could that be true, Chandra?
I think the pendulum swings. तो क्या होता है कि जब मैं रिलेशनशिप में थी कभी, I would give all of myself to someone. पूरा दिल खोल के किसी से प्यार किया. फिर ठीक है, नहीं, didn't work out, दिल टूटा, जो भी है. The pendulum now has swung to the point where I'm so, you know, I like to say independent. One could say that it's building walls. So the concept of vulnerability is petrifying at times.
Yeah, because you're worried that you don't want to get hurt,
and to the detriment of my own connection with other people.
So what I would say is, like, process these emotions, because आप अगर किसी relationship में बिल्कुल ही 200% बिल्कुल ही आप कह रहे हो I give everything, that is also unhealthy.
And
like find a way to like balance it. Like when you're in a relationship, you know, you're there and you're giving, but it shouldn't happen na ki you're obsessed with it. I'm not saying that you were, but
I definitely was.
Yeah, so
definitely was. प्यार में पागल नहीं होना होता है.
हाँ, because like मतलब nothing, you know, excess तो किसी भी चीज का sustainable नहीं है ना.
But I think there's some inner work that remains to be done.
I think, and we all have that. So, you know, thank you for opening up.
You're welcome.
You know, on the set here, but because that's not easy to like talk about your vulnerabilities.
Like I was talking to Avoidant actually, and I was telling him like, yaar, if this were my last summer single, how would I live my life differently? Because eventually, like, I would have to grieve the loss of my singlehood. And then he looked at me and he was like, एक relationship को एक कैदी feel नहीं होना चाहिए. नहीं लगना चाहिए कि
that
you can't do it.
relationship, Chandra, should enable your growth and self-development, which is what you listed as like, your
right.
top sanskar, right? So that relationship should help you grow as a human being, right? And that partner will help you become the best version of yourself. Will always encourage you to do that.
Yeah. I have a friend who, was seeing somebody and they said that, that person is really great, but they're not really working right now and they're not really like intellectually that stimulating. So I feel like sometimes we run out of things to talk about. So, what does someone do in that situation?
Relationship में आप करते क्या हो? बात ही करते हो 99% ऑफ द टाइम टुगेदर आप बात ही करते हो. अगर आपको बात ही करने में आपको मजा ही नहीं आ रहा, देन आप खुद ही सोच लो ना, फिर आप लोग लाइफ कैसे जियो. देखो, अगर आपके कॉन्वर्सेशन में ये आ गया ना और बताओ, तो वो खत्म हो गया. समझ रहे हो?
मजा नहीं आया. If I think about it, कुछ लोग हैं मतलब मेरी लाइफ में, और whoever I've really had a great relationship, great attraction with, कभी ये नौबत ही नहीं आई to even एक गैप भी नहीं आता है. Okay, I have another friend.
अच्छा.
And he's seeing someone, but he feels that they're very demanding of his time. But he has like a very full-time job that requires a lot of his energy and efforts. So he can't take out time every single day to talk for multiple hours. She's not working. So how should they go about resolving this particular conflict?
My advice to her would be कि भाई देखो, be understanding that he's got a busy life and he may be prioritizing you and giving you time, but he may not be always available to talk to you for many hours at once. So I think if I was her, I would try to assess like, is he genuinely busy and is he committed to the relationship, or
is he just avoiding
he's just avoiding me?
Yeah, and because she might be feeling that way. But
I think this may be resolvable because it's possible that the girl will find pursuits and etc. So with respect to both of them, right?
Yeah, we always talk about how it's not fair to put all your emotional needs on one person.
Yeah, वो एक single slice of pizza with all the toppings, right? So it'll be too much for him if the complete expectation is on him.
Yeah.
Because extreme of anything is bad, as I said. आप कहते हो courage अच्छी चीज़ है, courage, है ना? But as Plato said, excess of courage is recklessness. So आप कोई भी एक positive human trait लो और उसका excess अगर आप लोगे, तो it's unsustainable because there's too much pressure on the guy. And eventually what seems like love will become very toxic. Do something with your life and your knowledge, right? For the betterment of others.
Like
right?
your karam can't just be like doting on your husband only.
And I would say that even being in a relationship is also a karam, because through that is supposed to help you grow as a human being also.
You obviously work in the matchmaking field.
Yeah.
And so what I want to understand is like, how do you deal with people who have like a very huge list of very strict non-negotiables? People who are very particular, who may themselves not even meet some of those criteria. They may not.
देखो जी, बड़ा सिंपल है, ठीक है? मैच मेकिंग इज मैथमेटिक्स. आप 3 फैक्टर ले लो. आई कॉल इट PEF, फिजिकल, इमोशनल, फाइनेंशियल. एंड चौथा फैक्टर इज लाइक लाइफ पाथ एंड वैल्यूज.
ठीक है.
ये 4 बकेट्स हैं. इन 4 क्राइटेरिया पे मेरे लिए क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू मी अक्रॉस these 4 buckets, and what do I have to offer across these 4 buckets, and then it's a math.
Okay, so can you give me an example of like a calculation that you've done for someone, or like?
Yeah, so सबसे पहले I think, see, when I say the last bucket V, that's very important, because if your values and your thought process around life is are not sort of aligned, then वो तो चलेगा नहीं. देखो, somewhere your value system in life, value systems have to be aligned, right? You have to talk about very important things. How would you raise children, right? If you have very different ideas around how you would raise children, like that will be a point of conflict.
Yeah.
Because शुरू में देखो, प्यार है, attraction है, वो सब है, लेकिन if you don't figure out the big buckets in life, it won't last, because then because life will get real, and in real life, like, so many things matter.
And so many don't.
So many don't, right? So figure out what are your important values, and then figure out if you have alignment there with your prospective partner. So you talked about ambition, right? And self-betterment as something important to you. I know the relationships are also important to you, whether you acknowledge fully today or not, right? So now you will not do well with a guy who's not ambitious. होगा नहीं ना, चलेगा नहीं वो, क्योंकि वो कभी ना कभी आप उसकी अंदर से इज्जत कर पाओगे, ना वो कभी आपकी इज्जत कर पाएगा.
He won't understand where I'm coming from.
हाँ, ठीक है. So we've covered that bucket. So now let's talk about PEF, physical, emotional, financial. What are your levels of compatibility in each of those buckets?
Cool.
Right?
Got it.
And my way of thinking about it is like you need a critical level in each of them, and then like if you want to do really well, you outperform like in one. Right? But if you outperform in one, your deficiency in the other two may not make up for it.
Okay, so it shouldn't fall beneath a
Yeah, so like there's like a threshold level in each.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then like you outperform in like one.
Yeah, like a spike somewhere.
Yeah.
Like
Right?
physical बहुत ज़्यादा attractive है. But बाकी इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि बाकी dip कर जाए.
Yeah, मतलब और like financial बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा है, तो ये नहीं है कि वो emotionally imbalanced है या physically is not taking care of himself or herself, right? So you need to have thresholds in all three, right? And then try to see excellence in one.
Fair enough. Like it seems like in your estimation for long-term compatibility, this is the equation, right? Like the 4 items. But where do other things fit into these 4? Like, for example, religion matching, caste matching, family backgrounds, lifestyles. Like, do these things not matter?
वो भी important होता है लोगों के लिए. हाँ, that's a
non-veg.
so
Like मुझे chicken खाना है, right? So
तो फिर आप किसी मतलब जैन लड़के के साथ आपका नहीं चलेगा.
Doubt it.
हाँ,
That would be tough.
हाँ.
Got it. So you can like modulate the equation based on what's supremely important to you.
Yeah, and
like,
be honest with
tailor
yourself.
it,
Be honest with yourself.
personalize it.
What am I seeking, and what do I bring to the table?
Totally.
Yeah.
But like I've heard this from our team as well, that like, look, I understand you have 30 non-negotiables, but I can't construct the perfect person for you. And
हम
even if
कोई made in factory में तो बनेगा नहीं ना. Made in China आपने import कर लिया थोड़ी होता है.
No.
Because वो ना हर बंदा लेके आता है, बोलता है मेरे को ये सब कुछ चाहिए. But ऐसे होता नहीं है ना, because in real life, you have to make decisions. क्या like मेरे लिए क्या important है?
Right.
Yeah.
On the topic of non-negotiables, I want you to assess whether this non-negotiable that someone's asking for is reasonable or if they're being too demanding. Okay, so reasonable or asshole, basically. Okay, so this girl has come to her matchmaker, say, and she says, I only have a few non-negotiables. First is to be able to work after marriage. Second is to be able to live at a duration of 2 to 3 hours away from my parents' house. Not more than that. Third, I don't want to marry a smoker or someone who drinks. Am I being too picky?
No, 2 to 3 hours away from my parents' home. तो दिल्ली NCR में कहीं भी रह लो, और दिल्ली NCR की इतनी आबादी है, इतनी population है, तो it depends on where the parents are, right? If it's in a big urban center like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, तो आप उसमें you'll be able to find a person.
Yeah. For some people, it's like really important. Like, I will not move to outside of India for a partner. What do you think about like relocation as a factor?
ठीक है, मतलब इंडिया में 1.5 बिलियन लोग हैं, तो आपको लड़का तो मिल ही जाएगा. I don't think that's a big problem. Right?
Okay, so I think from what I can hear from you, all of these are reasonable asks.
Yeah, she wants to work after her marriage.
Like,
okay, obviously, like find an educated guy and like
खुद ही आपको
कर लो, and then like मैं मतलब basically she's saying if she's in Delhi or Mumbai, she's saying well live in the same metropolitan region. That's fine.
Got it. Okay, so she's cleared. She's not an asshole. Great. Next बंदे की demands हैं. He should have a sister.
ये लड़की की डिमांड है.
ये लड़की की
डिमांड है that he should have a sister.
Yeah.
I think she probably wants the guy to have a sister because then he will be more empathetic towards the female outlook.
But do you आप मानते हैं इस चीज़ को?
फर्क तो पड़ता है ना. You get a female perspective. Right?
You
if
have
you
a
have
sister.
I have a sister.
Do you think it helped you?
Yeah, because she calls my bluff half the time. She like calls me out half the time, and it helps me understand like the female perspective better. There for sure. I think like having a sister is such a blessing.
Next scenario. I rejected the guy after seeing his Instagram. He mostly hung out with girls on foreign trips and it didn't sit well with me. What do you think about it? Is that like reasonable or is that an asshole?
I mean, the question is like hung out in what way? अब वो उनके साथ बुक क्लब में पढ़ाई कर रहा है या क्लब गया हुआ है, मतलब
Travel, foreign trips.
नहीं फॉरेन ट्रिप पे वो बिजनेस मीटिंग में है, मैं ऐसे कैसे कमेंट कर दूं यार, कैसी मतलब
But आप पोस्ट क्यों करोगे कि आप बिजनेस मीटिंग में किसी लड़की
क्यों नहीं कर सकता यार कोई किसी के साथ पोस्ट? ये भी बात हुई. क्वेश्चन इज कि लाइक हाउ इज ही एंगेजिंग विद दोस वुमेन?
बट आपको लगता है आप किसी से अरेंज मैरिज प्रोसेस में आप किसी के इंस्टाग्राम से जज कर सकते हो कि वो बंदा ठीक नहीं है? मुझे अजीब सा लग रहा है, इतने सारी लड़कियां क्यों हैं उसके इंस्टाग्राम पे? जेन्युइन.
So you want to understand how the guy, what kind of hobbies he has and how he likes to spend his time. I think you want to understand that. Now I can't comment on कि उसकी पिक्चर है लड़की, उसकी कई सारी फोटोज इंस्टाग्राम पे लड़कियों के साथ हैं, वो लड़कियों के साथ कर क्या रहा है मुझे क्या पता. आप फोटोज दिखा दो मैं कमेंट कर दूंगा.
ठीक है. Okay, next interesting one. I want someone with no tattoos.
यार इस पे I have मैं क्या कमेंट करूँ?
But what do you think that's an unreasonable demand?
मतलब वो उसकी अपनी प्रेफरेंस है, वो PEF में फिजिकल प्रेफरेंस है उसकी. She doesn't want someone with tattoos. मतलब kind of unnatural तो है, kind of unnatural तो है ही right.
What if the person's like a great person? You're rejecting them because they got, they went to Goa once?
But ठीक है, मतलब if the girl doesn't want the guy to have tattoos, it's fine. Like what's the problem?
What's your stance on tattoos?
Well, what's my stance on tattoos? I don't have a stance on tattoos. I don't have a tattoo. Like,
do you like girls with tattoos?
मैंने कभी ऐसे सोचा नहीं do I like girls with tattoos or not tattoos. मैंने कभी ऐसे मतलब what kind of question आप यार कैसे पूछते हो यार?
ये आज के ज़माने में लोग ऐसे ही डिस्कशंस करते हैं कि मम्मी मेरे को ऐसी लड़की ला के दो जिसने कभी टैटू नहीं कराया होगा.
हाँ मतलब मेरा इस पे कोई व्यू नहीं है, ठीक है.
You're okay with a girl with tattoos?
मेरा इस पे कोई प्रेफरेंस नहीं है. मेरे लिए वैल्यू अलाइनमेंट अदर थिंग्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब उसने फेस पे टैटू बनवाया होगा तो देन वन बी लाइक आई एम नॉट अ हिप्पी. Nothing wrong with hippie, but I'm not hippie.
No, let's not go crazy now. He should sponsor my MBA abroad after marriage.
ये तो लड़की डाउरी मांग रही है सर.
फंडरेजिंग चल रही है.
वो बोली आई वांट अ गाय जो मेरी स्टार्टअप में मेरा सीरीज है फंड करे, अदरवाइज आई वोंट मैरी. मुझे हस्बैंड भी चाहिए, इन्वेस्टर भी चाहिए. आ जाओ जी, मेरा CCPS राउंड खुला हुआ है.
Wait, I should do that. I should raise money for my startup with the
तो
arranged
आप तो
marriage
बिल्कुल ही
part.
गोल्ड डिगर हो उसका मतलब.
No, I'm not a gold digger. I'm just a savvy entrepreneur.
अच्छा, okay. I believe you.
Wow. Well, that's really the table's turn, I guess. Okay, but what's your thoughts on like dietary differences? Like someone who is like no non-veg at all, very strict.
यार ये ना थोड़ा सा mixed है, because I'm myself not 100% clear about this. I'll tell you why. Food is a shared experience.
True.
Right? So
Food is love for so
food
many.
is such a shared experience that you can exchange so much joy through sharing meals together. Right? I've been to Middle Eastern countries where they will literally just the whole table will eat from the same plate or the same thing kept in the center. It's such a shared experience,
Yeah.
right? Also in India.
True.
Right. So one perspective is कि यार if the dietary preferences are very different,
But
then
veg non-veg समझ लो.
हाँ, so मतलब it can be a problem for some people because it's like, well, when I go out, I'll never be able to enjoy a meal
fully.
together. And also उसमें क्या होता है कि the non-veg guy or the girl loses out because they're like मैं तो इतना मंगाऊंगा नहीं because I won't be able to finish the dish, so they're always ordering like the vegetarian stuff, right? So there is that issue, right? But then like it's also one of those things that like मतलब ठीक है, you can order American style and like eat your own stuff, and it is something that may not truly be a non-negotiable,
Yeah.
non-negotiable, and you can kind of get over.
Yeah.
So I think it's very
Individual.
very individual. I think for a lot of people these days this is not a non-negotiable. I see that
So
in
many options
some
now.
communities it is, like such as Gujaratis and Jains, is still a very non-negotiable. But for a lot of people this is not a big non-negotiable these days because people are fine, right? Generally.
Yeah. It's not even just about the person. It's about how will you raise your kids.
Yeah.
are they gonna be veg or non-veg?
Yeah, I think those are important conversations to be had before.
Yeah. Like, do you think that someone who wants kids and someone who doesn't want kids could ever work? Like, what do you think about babies?
Tough, very tough.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Someone who doesn't want kids should absolutely not be with someone who wants kids.
It's a very important conversation that needs to be had before.
Yeah. Because I know people whose non-negotiables are like, I don't want to have kids. And that's like, I can't be with
Yeah,
someone.
if it's a non-negotiable, it's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, crazy.
But the kids thing is a big one, right?
Do you want kids?
Do I want kids? Well, yeah, probably.
Okay.
At some point.
Yeah. You're chill about it.
Not like
Like, you're
tomorrow.
not like hardline against it.
Yeah, no. At some point. I like cute babies.
We like cute babies. That was all my questions for you, Poshak. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
That was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Gupshup. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to hit subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave in the comment section below what more questions you'd like us to ask Poshak next time. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.